Hey everybody, I see that you are wanting to know how to fly an aeroplane. You must have typed in how to learn how to fly a plane, and my name is Mike Shearer, and I'm going to tell you. Years ago, back in 1978 it was, I made the decision that I wanted to learn to fly an aeroplane, and I think I was 18 at the time. My father had been a pilot when he was about my age. He had to do compulsory military training, so he chose to go to the Air Force, learnt to fly, and then got good at it, loved it, did a few hours, did about 50 hours, so he got his license, and then he got married. That was the end of that. Didn't fly again for 25 years. And I thought, well, I don't want to get into that situation, so I'm going to learn to fly now, similar age, and I'm going to keep flying. So I joined the local aero club at the place I was living. So back in 1978, all flight training was done by local aero clubs here in New Zealand. Similar thing happens in the UK. In USA, they also have clubs, but they also have flying schools. And in the US, there's airports everywhere. When I was there was probably an airport every 30 miles. They're just all over the place. So no problem. So find your local airport, go along there, and then find the flying school, and away you go. You just walk in, you go in, tell them who you are, tell them what you want. They'll tell you what programs they have available, and you start straight away. there's no mucking around. You just you go straight into an aeroplane, and you go fly. And it's a trial flight. It's an experience flight, just so that you can experience what it's like. Learn what the controls do, what they feel like, what the feeling of actually being in an aeroplane. Some people just absolutely love it, like they're born to do it. Other people are totally petrified and terrified and think, no, not for me, I don't want to do it. So the first thing to do is to go and get yourself a test flight, whether it be at an aero club or a flight training centre or a school. If you're serious about making aviation your career, you've been flying, you know what it is, then you have to align yourself with a flight school or a training organisation that is affiliated to an airline or an airline training program, because there's absolutely no point in learning to fly at your local flight school or aero club, because they do not train you in the correct aspects to become a commercial airline pilot. So it's best to start in the right place and go to the right school. There's funding in place, government funding in place, university funding's in place, and in most countries, and away you go. The process is the same. You go and sign up, go for your first flight, and then you're in once you organise all the payments and things like that. So that's how you do it. One thing flying gives you is freedom, total and utter freedom. If you just fly for pleasure like I do, to me it's a discipline thing. I like to have the freedom of being able to just fly like a bird. I also love the discipline of knowing that if I get it wrong, if I do something wrong, I'm going to die or get seriously hurt. So it's a great way to just clear your mind of everything else, focus on exactly what you're doing, in the knowledge that you'll have enormous satisfaction, but if you get it wrong, the consequences are dire. Same thing happens in life and in business. If you get it wrong, the consequences aren't good, because you've got no money, you can't spend anything, you can't have the time freedom and the financial freedom that you want. So I do both. I enjoy my flying, but the way I fund my flying, because it's not cheap, it's expensive, the way I fund it is through my home business. It gives me the financial security, the financial freedom, and the time freedom that I want to be able to do what I want, when I want, with the people I want to do it with. I'm not tied to a job, and this is the way I do it. My domain name is simply workwithmikeshearer.com, and that'll take you to an explanation of what my business is, how it works, and whether it's going to be okay for you. So if you want time freedom, security, financial freedom, and the ability to go flying, learn to fly, and to fly like a bird, however you may have ever dreamed, or you want to go and get into commercial flight training, then this is the way to do it, because you're going to need a lot of money. Workwithmikeshearer.com, and I'll see you then. Thanks very much.